When someone doesn't reply, it's natural to feel a twinge of hurt, a flicker of doubt. But let's set the record straight. Your worth has absolutely nothing to do with their response. Too often, we attach our value to external validation, measuring ourselves against how quickly someone texts us back or how eagerly they acknowledge our presence. This mindset is a trap, a cycle that places your self-esteem in the hands of others, leaving you vulnerable to their whims, distractions, or lack of attention. But here's the truth: your value is inherent, unshakable, and not up for negotiation. When someone chooses not to respond, it reflects more about them than it does about you. Maybe they're preoccupied, maybe they're unsure, or maybe they don't even know how to articulate their feelings. Whatever the case, their silence is not your failure. It's simply their decision, one that exists independently of your worth. You are not the sum of other people's actions or inactions. Your essence, your character, and your presence in this world are far greater than a missed message or an unanswered call. The moment you start equating your self-worth with how others treat you, you give them power over your happiness and your peace of mind. You begin to second-guess yourself, to wonder if you've said too much or too little, to walk on eggshells, hoping for a response that affirms your existence. But let me tell you this: you do not need anyone else to validate who you are. That validation must come from within, from knowing that you bring something unique and irreplaceable to the table. Think about the incredible energy and time wasted on chasing answers that may never come. Instead of obsessing over why someone hasn't replied, focus that energy on yourself, on your growth, your goals, and your journey. You have so much to offer the world, and tying your self-perception to the actions of another only diminishes the radiance you already possess. You are a whole, complete being, and no one's silence can take that away from you. When you stop seeking external approval, something remarkable happens. You begin to approve of yourself. You realize that your worth isn't conditional or situational. It's not tied to who texts you back, who gives you attention, or who fails to show up for you. It's rooted in your resilience, your kindness, your intelligence, and the countless qualities that make you extraordinary. Recognizing this is not just liberating, it's transformative. It shifts the narrative from "why don't they value me?" to "I know my value, and I won't let it depend on them." So let their silence speak if it must. Let their lack of response be a lesson, not a source of self-doubt. You don't need to beg for recognition or acceptance. Stand tall in the knowledge that you are enough exactly as you are, regardless of who acknowledges it. Your worth was never meant to be measured by someone else's attention. It's meant to shine all on its own. There is an undeniable strength in maintaining poise, especially in moments when desperation tries to take over. When you find yourself in a situation where you're tempted to chase, plead, or demand attention, remember this: poise is your power, and desperation only weakens your position. Desperation communicates lack, neediness, and a sense of being out of control, while poise speaks of self-assurance, calmness, and unshakable self-worth. It's the difference between reacting impulsively and responding thoughtfully, between shrinking yourself to fit someone else's narrative and standing tall in your own truth. Desperation stems from fear of rejection, fear of being forgotten, fear of not being enough. But giving in to that fear only creates a cycle of insecurity and self-doubt. When you act out of desperation, you hand over your power. You allow someone else to dictate your emotions, your actions, and ultimately your sense of self. Poise, on the other hand, is rooted in confidence. It's the quiet strength that comes from knowing who you are, what you bring to the table. It's not about pretending you don't care or hiding your feelings. It's about controlling how you express them. When you choose poise over desperation, you communicate something profound, not just to others, but to yourself. You say, I value myself enough to maintain my dignity. You say, I don't need to beg for attention because I know my worth. This shift in mindset changes the entire dynamic. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and composure, not those who seem dependent on their approval. Poise creates space for respect to grow, while desperation often pushes it away. Maintaining poise doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means channeling those emotions into actions that reflect your strength rather than your insecurities. It's about taking a step back, breathing deeply, and asking yourself, what is the most empowered way I can handle this situation? Desperation urges you to act now, to fix things immediately, to grasp at straws for resolution. Poise allows you to pause, reflect, and proceed with intention. I think of poise as a silent statement of self-respect. When someone doesn't respond, you don't spiral into overthinking or bombard them with messages. Instead, you stay grounded, you acknowledge your feelings, but you don't let them drive you to act against your best interests. This restraint is not weakness, it's a profound strength. It shows that you value yourself enough to wait, to trust, and to prioritize your own peace of mind. There's a quiet power in being unbothered, in refusing to let someone else's actions or lack thereof dictate your emotions. Poise is not about ignoring your needs, it's about recognizing that your needs are valid and that you won't compromise them by reacting impulsively. It's about owning your narrative and refusing to let anyone else write it for you. Desperation may scream, but poise whispers with authority. And in that whisper lies the strength to command attention without ever demanding it. Crafting a message that commands attention requires precision, thoughtfulness, and an understanding of what truly resonates with the other person. It's not about bombarding someone with words in the hopes that sheer volume will earn you a response. It's about choosing the right words, tone, and timing to make an impact. When you send a message, it should be a reflection of your confidence, clarity, and sense of self, not a plea for acknowledgement or a cry for validation. Think of your message as a mirror of your worth. Before you even type a single word, ask yourself, what am I trying to communicate, and does this message align with the person I am striving to be? When you approach communication with intention, your words carry a weight that cannot be ignored. They exude thoughtfulness and self-assurance, qualities that naturally draw people in rather than push them away. The tone of your message is just as important as its content. Desperation, frustration, or insecurity in your tone can overshadow even the most eloquent words. Instead, aim for a tone that is calm, composed, and self-respecting. Whether it's a simple acknowledgement, a question, or a statement, let your tone reflect your inner peace and confidence. The way you say something often speaks louder than what you say, and a calm, assured tone is hard to dismiss. Timing is another crucial element of crafting a message that commands attention. Messages sent impulsively in the heat of emotion often carry an energy that repels rather than attracts. When you take a moment to breathe, reflect, and compose yourself before sending a message, you give it the power of intentionality. A well-timed message is not only more likely to be received positively, but also shows that you value the other person's time and yours. The content of your message should also stand out. Be direct yet thoughtful. Avoid cliches or overly generic phrases that could apply to anyone. Instead, tailor your message to the unique dynamic you share with the person. Speak with authenticity and from a place of self-respect. Authenticity captivates in a way that no carefully rehearsed script ever could. When your words reflect your true thoughts and feelings delivered with grace and dignity, they become impossible to overlook. Remember, a message that commands attention is one that adds value. It doesn't demand, it invites. It doesn't crowd, it creates space for meaningful engagement. Whether you're expressing gratitude, sharing a thought, or simply reaching out, let your message reflect the best of who you are. It's not about manipulation or playing games, it's about setting a standard for how you communicate and being unafraid to uphold that standard. A commanding message isn't about forcing someone to respond, it's about giving them a reason to want to. When your words are intentional, your tone is composed, and your timing is thoughtful, your message becomes more than a string of text on a screen. It becomes a representation of your self-worth, a testament to your growth, and a quiet yet powerful declaration that you will always honor yourself in how you engage with others. Confidence is magnetic because it exudes an energy that draws people in without the need for force or persuasion. When you carry yourself with confidence, it's as though the world tilts slightly in your favor, not because you're trying to demand attention, but because your presence naturally commands it. True confidence isn't loud or boastful, it's a quiet assurance that speaks volumes without uttering a single word. It's the way you walk into a room, the way you hold your head high, and the way your words carry intention and clarity. Confidence shows that you know your worth, and people are inherently attracted to individuals who respect themselves. When you operate from a place of self-assuredness, it becomes evident in your actions, decisions, and interactions. You don't need to chase validation or approval from others because you've already given that to yourself. This self-sufficiency creates an allure that is hard to resist. People are drawn to those who radiate certainty because it creates a sense of security and trust. It's not just about how you feel on the inside, it's also about how you present yourself to the world. Your body language, eye contact, and even the tone of your voice play a role in projecting confidence. When you speak, you do so with conviction, making your words resonate deeply. When you listen, you give your full attention, showing that you value both yourself and the person you're engaging with. This balance of assertiveness and attentiveness creates an atmosphere where others feel seen and respected, amplifying your magnetic energy. Confidence also has the power to inspire. When people witness someone unapologetically owning their space, it gives them permission to do the same. Your confidence can act as a catalyst for others to step into their own power. It's a ripple effect when you embody self-belief. It encourages others to believe in themselves. This ability to uplift and empower others is one of the most magnetic qualities a person can have. What sets confident people apart is their resilience. Confidence doesn't mean never doubting yourself or never facing setbacks. It means trusting that you can overcome whatever challenges come your way. It's the unwavering belief that your value isn't determined by external circumstances, but by the core of who you are. This inner strength creates a sense of stability that attracts others as they're drawn to the calm and certainty that confidence provides. Confidence is not about perfection, it's about authenticity. It's about embracing your flaws, owning your story, and being unafraid to show up as your true self. When you let go of the need to compare yourself to others or conform to societal expectations, you free yourself to shine in your own unique way. This authenticity is magnetic because it's rare and refreshing in a world where so many people hide behind masks. Confidence, at its core, is a reflection of self-love and self-respect. When you prioritize your growth, honor your boundaries, and trust in your abilities, you cultivate a confidence that can't be shaken. This kind of confidence isn't just attractive, it's transformative, both for you and for those who have the privilege of being in your orbit.